Hello and welcome back to LFC News. In today's video, we have some huge Jurgen Klopp return to Liverpool news amid Arne Slot's uncertain future. We'll look into this today because it is as crazy as it sounds. We'll also go over all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. But before we do, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. So let's get into our first story today, and it's coming from Arne Slot, explaining why Liverpool's tactical changes are almost impossible. Could this be just more excuses from the Dutchman, or has he actually got a point here? So let's have a read at what this has to say. So why Arne Slot has ruled out a tactical shift. When asked whether he needs to shake up his starting 11 by the press, including Slot rebuffed the idea. Is a question, should I change dramatically? Slot replied, I don't know what is in your head, but for example, if you want another system with 5 defenders, that could be an issue. I don't have 5 defenders. Which is true. I mean, we've got Van Dijk, Canate, who is hardly a defender at this point, Joe Gomez, who's made of like glass, Leone, who is obviously got a torn ACL and is like 18. He probably shouldn't be in the starting 11 anyway. Endo, who can play centre back, but again another one who's got his injury problems. He has got a point there. Like, we don't have 5 defenders. And then we have issues with our fullbacks anyway. Like, Kirkes has been horrendous. Jeremy Frimpong is out injured. Dominic Szoboszlai is our best defender, and he's not even a defender, which is a crazy thing to say. But anyway, the system we're playing now suits the players best. They've played this system probably throughout their whole career, and there is hardly any training time for us. But I remember reading something yesterday that Arne Slot has given Liverpool players a day off this week or something. Like, you can't say you haven't got training time and then give players a day off. That doesn't really make any sense. But he goes on to say, so it's almost impossible to change our complete idea of football if we play every 2 days. I think we've played a lot of different lineups for reasons I prefer not to do because everyone was not available. We have used our whole squad constantly. Liverpool currently play a game every 3 games, and thus typically only train properly for 1 day before a match, as is the case with the trip to West Ham after the players were given a day off. Also, that's why they were given a day off. But the schedule's bad. Like, we know that with football, but everyone's going through that. And if depth is an issue, that's something we should have addressed in the transfer window, because that's something it doesn't just spring up on you. You know whether your squad's got depth or not. And we've spent £450 million on players. So, is it just poor transfer business? I don't know. Like, we were all crying out for a defender anyway. Like, it wasn't a surprise that we needed a defender. We needed a whole new back line, really. Like, minus Van Dijk, who again hasn't been great this season. Minus Van Dijk, we needed a whole new back line. And he didn't go out. Well, obviously not him, Richard Hughes. They didn't go out and get the job done. Obviously, unfortunate with Mark Guehi, but they should have had backups. They shouldn't have left it to the last minute. So he can't really use that as an excuse because every club is playing a ridiculous amount of games. I mean, look at Arsenal. They're playing a ridiculous amount of games. They're dominating the league. Same with Chelsea. They're playing a lot of games and they're still up there in the table. It's like, I don't like that excuse. I think it's stupid. It's like, oh, we haven't prepared properly. That's why we're doing so bad, and it's unfair. Like, nah, you need to grow up, mate. Like, that's just a bit pathetic if you ask me. And it's really turning me against Arne Slot a lot more. Like, hearing his excuses the past few weeks is almost cringy. Like, he doesn't want to take responsibility, it seems, which is the sign of a weak leader, and I don't really like it. And I've gone from a very pro Arne Slot guy to I'm kind of leaning towards maybe we need a change. But anyway, that was our first story today, and we're gonna get into our main story now, of a potential return to Liverpool for Jurgen Klopp, which is something we probably never expected to hear, but according to the Standard, Liverpool answer number one manager target to replace Arne Slot amid Jurgen Klopp plan. So this is coming from the Standard. I'm not sure what the initial source is. Maybe it will say it could genuinely be from the Standard. So take it maybe with a pinch of salt. They're not the worst. They're certainly not the best. You know, it's not a it's the Mirror. Okay. Okay, so it seems to be coming from the tabloids. So, I mean, it doesn't mean it's not right, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's gospel. But anyway, so this is basically stating that Liverpool are looking at Luis Enrique as the potential replacement for Arne Slot, which I think is a very, very strong replacement. Obviously, just won the Champions League with PSG and probably going to do it again this season. A great manager with a brilliant pedigree at some of the biggest clubs in the world. So yeah, it's a very, very strong replacement for Slot. However, the issue is it's unlikely he's going to want to leave mid-season to join Liverpool, which is completely understandable. Again, you know, he's got a big project going at PSG. Yes, Liverpool is arguably a step up from PSG, but he's not going to leave mid-season. So the Mirror claimed that the club executive have discussed a successful plan should Slot be sacked, but fear Enrique may want to wait until the end of the season before taking the new job. The Sun have added that club legend Jurgen Klopp could be drafted in for the rest of the season until Enrique takes over. Klopp is currently the global head of soccer at Red Bull, so whether he'd be allowed to do that is another thing, but I'm sure Jurgen Klopp would want to do that. I know he said he wanted to take a break from management, but you know, when the club you love needs you're going to come back, like, surely. But Liverpool will feel confident that Enrique would be interested in a move to Anfield, having previously spoken of his desire to manage one of the Premier League's top clubs. So yeah, the Enrique definitely wants to move to the Premier League at some point. We know that that's been fact for a while. Whether it's Liverpool, that's another thing, but I do think Liverpool is probably the best club to potentially join in the Premier League at the minute, especially after spending 450 million on some of the world's best players. We've got the players for it, despite what Klopp says. Despite what Slot says. So yeah, could we see Jurgen Klopp come back in for a few months until Enrique takes over? We'll just have to wait and see. And we'll have to wait and see if Slot actually gets the boot or not. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.